All right. I think I'm getting lost in the weeds here a little bit too much. Okay. Sorry, it's like animation, and that's one of my things.
And again, once I pull up the graphic, you'll just have to take this video full screen to see the whole thing, and we should be good.
All right.
All right. Jay, we are episode 119. Do you want to kick us off?
Balls. Ah.
No, I don't think I do. I think that's the perfect intro to episode 119 here on the Cretans Guild podcast.
I swear to God, I did not do this on purpose.
I don't believe you.
Oh, give me a second.
Okay.
Last episode of the year, and we can't even get off to a smooth transition. Jay, how you been?
Busy. Yourself?
Yeah, busy myself. I just got out of court, literally.
For jury duty, right? Not like you didn't shoot a man in Reno just to watch him die?
I came close. I was very, very close to it.
Okay, well, that's a story I need to hear. If they held me
in that jury waiting room another hour, I probably would have lost it, and I would have shot some people.
So my friend Joe just had to deal with jury duty up in Minneapolis, and they've kept him there. It's bullshit. So like here in Kalamazoo, if you get jury duty, you can call in the day before, and they'll tell you whether you have to come in or not. You don't have to go in at all. It's just
we had that option as well, and I saw, okay, you are to be here at 7:30 in the morning.
So for us, it was great because I've been summoned 3 times since I've lived here, and I have yet to have to go in. Thank you.
Oh, you've just been dismissed every time.
Thank you, COVID, for one of those being dismissed. But my friend Joe, so he got called in. He had to sit in the Hennepin County Courthouse all day. At the end of it, they said, "You're not getting selected today." At the end of the fucking day, like no shit. It's 5 o'clock. Of course I'm not getting selected. But get this horse shit. He's on call for the rest of the week. They can call him in and tell him he has to go in.
Like while he's at work?
Yes.
Does his job suck?
He works with me, so no. It's
oh God, that blows then. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's fucking horse shit. It's like really that's the approach we're going here. Okay, thanks Hennepin County. You guys are great.
The only time I don't know how I've managed to live for this long, only having gotten saddled with jury duty like once, but I didn't make it as far as the interview went. Huh?
You move an awful lot.
Yeah, I do move an awful lot. Maybe it's all subconscious need to avoid jury duty.
You're keeping them off your trail.
They ain't found me yet, boss. But I told you I told you the other day when you were when you let us know that you had a jury duty that like see if you can like try to fudge the interview. And I don't really know if I did this. I wasn't trying to on purpose. It just seems like they're really sensitive to certain criteria when it comes to the process. And the one jury interview that I ever made it to was up in Sanford at the courthouse, and it was like right in downtown. So it wasn't like, it wasn't a huge hassle or anything. I had to get up in the morning. That was the bulk of my concerns. Because fuck that. So they asked us like, everybody in the jury, if they like read any periodicals or anything. And at this point I was just like, I wasn't thinking seriously about it. I was like, I wonder if this actually works. Because it wasn't a lie. I was subscribed to Game Informer because of the GameStop, program. So it's like, yeah, I subscribed to a couple of video game magazines, and they're like, okay, you can sit down. And they told me to get the fuck out like an hour later. They were like, see ya.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that long. It was so great. So yeah, if anybody ever brings it up, just make sure, unless the judge is kind of savvy and goes like, there aren't any video game magazines anymore. That's a dying industry. Get the fuck out of here. Actually, stay.
Speaking of which, the video game awards are on right now. My kid is watching in the other room, and I could give 2 craps.
Yeah, it didn't look that still. Well, one of them was kind of a standout, but I can't even remember. I know Dragon Age is one of them because it's BioWare, but the rest of them, like, yeah. Balatro is the one I'm rooting for, though. So go Balatro.
Balatro is the one I want to win. Because the one I really want to win didn't get nominated. So
what was the one?
What was that?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, it just came out.
Yeah, but they're doing the best games of 2024 in December before the year is over because Jeff Keighley's a fucking dolt.
Yeah, okay.
God of War got nominated for best game, and it was out for like 20 days before the award show last time.
Yeah, man. And one of the awards did go to a DLC. I know that like kicked up a shitstorm on parts in parts unknown, which is kind of shit. Honestly, I kind of agreed with that, but people, of course, lost their sense of proportion about it. It's like that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That don't grandfather shit in remakes. If it's a substantial enough remake, then sure, like the Resident Evil stuff. But like, what was remade this year that was kind of like a huge question mark?
Super Mario RPG.
Super Mario RPG was selected. It was just like, are these awards retroactive? You could give it to the 1995 one. That'd be great.
Yeah, at what point is it a remake or if it's just a port?
Yeah, I don't know. It's but then again, it's just like a huge hype machine anyway. And did you see what the what was the game? I can't remember the game that these devs were for, but they made kind of like a snarky little Twitter post about it. About the indies that weren't able to afford trailers or any sort of hype at the actual Game Awards. So they made a tweet about like, hey, we're hosting the Game Awards for games that can't afford the Game Awards or something like that. And it became like, it got so much traffic that they actually made it a real thing. So that's like happening sometime later this month.
That's kind of cute.
It's going to be like 600 titles, but
I'm okay with that. Though. That's fine.
Yeah. What a fucking like joke, the whole thing.
It's just a Jeff Keighley vanity project so he can, fucking slob on Kojima's knob again. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's honestly a bit odd that like a mid-sized publisher hasn't been able to come up with like a competitor or anything. Like you figure this would be like right in Devolver's wheelhouse, because they're like an independent publisher, but they've got like some sort of backing behind them because of all the like weird trade show stuff they've done over the last 6. Do you have like a little bell so that you can like hit that every time one?
I need to get like a disgusting bell. Like mommy,
there we go.
Every time Corey burps, an angel
every time Corey burps. For those of you not watching the video podcast, I just illuminated a lighter and held it up and made a silly face because that's good radio, folks. That's good radio.
No lie, but like the most visceral like radio that I can remember is people like actually doing stuff in the background that you can't actually see, and then especially if it's punctuated by dead air right afterwards, you're like, oh, this is storytelling.
Yes.
This is audio
Absolutely.
theater. Fantastic. Yeah, whatever.
Theater at its best.
All right, so we want to. There's an overarching subject that we do want to talk about. Hi, welcome to the podcast episode.
Hi.
Corey pissed on himself earlier. I don't know what exactly happened.
Yeah, actually, I just knocked over my collection of fleshlights, and I hadn't washed them yet, so it was like a bit of a probably a biohazard here. No, I had my beverage here, and I literally lifted it up to my face, and then it just went bleh. Egg cream bukkake.
Good night, folks. Good night. We're not getting past that cream bukkake. That's as far as it goes.
There is no going past.
So speaking of drinks, Corey, you said you wanted to talk about winter beverages briefly.
I did. I just wanted to see like which way everyone swings. No, we're not going to follow a mention of bukkake with that phrase. How like if you go like hot beverage or cold beverage or whatever, because for whatever reason I think of like culinarily speaking, winter is like the season of two things. One of them soups, but I don't think we're going to be talking about soup on this. And the other one is drinking. But that's because it feels like the vibe invites a lot more variety. Hot, cold, after dinner, aperitifs, novelty drinks, things like that. So I just want to see how you guys were swinging before the show.
I basically drink a lot of water now.
That's actually good. Okay.
Kind of boring. I drink like 6 of these a day.
No, it's fantastic actually.
But my winter drink of choice is that's a handsome handsome sticker on that mug there. Sir.
I love that sticker. If you want to know what sticker that was, you need to check out the video cast.
Yeah, motherfuckers, watch the video. My hot drink of choice in wintertime is hot cocoa. Like
hot cocoa?
I love a hot chocolate, like
Mhm.
especially if it's not just fucking Swiss Miss with some marshmallows in it. Like if it's like a good Ghirardelli hot chocolate or one of the Starbucks ones. Starbucks ones are fucking great.
So you jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah, jazz it up a little bit. And Target actually has a gingerbread whipped cream that is unfucking godly good in hot cocoa.
I'm gonna have to try that. I found a new. I like to make my Mexican Cokes if I have some time at night, or Mexican hot cocos, or caliente cocoa, as I guess somebody told me they're called. But I came across like another recipe that incorporates the usage of like steeping cinnamon and cloves in the milk before you start mixing the chocolate in, and it's like, fuck.
So it's like infused with flavor then.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't like the one thing that's kind of like that I haven't gotten under. I haven't been able to rein in with these recipes yet. Is that like a lot of them involve like heavy cream on top of milk, and there's like a ratio of the two that is pretty imbalanced to me. So I keep like tweaking it every time I try to do it. But the cloves, shit, and I never would have thought of that either. It's so fucking money.
Try half and half. See if that does it.
Half and half instead of heavy cream with the milk.
Yeah.
All right, Professor. That'll be done.
I mean, it's half cream, half milk. So
this is kind of funny. Like me, the water boy, is the only person on this podcast that is not drinking water right now.
Yeah.
To be clear, I never said what was in the mug.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, that's fair.
Just for Jay's benefit, I do have the peanut butter and chocolate whiskey with me, the 60 proof.
No.
That tastes nice and sweet and burns on the way down. So yes,
I bet that would be really good in coffee.
I might try that the next time I'm not working, which should be 2026.
That's good.
Hey, that's a good problem to have.
I'm not complaining.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? God, I've got all this work. I don't really know what I'm going to do. No time to myself.
I really don't know who I am anymore.
I could take 4 months off the year afterwards, sitting on this throne made out of sculpted, lacquered fucking dollar bills and shit.
So you're still
my supervisor came up to me the other day. He said, "How long have you been here, Bob?" And I said, "About when was the pandemic?" So I've been here about 4 years now. Yeah, we're coming up really close to 4 years. And he pulled out this sheet and he said, "You have not missed a single NXT. You have been here for every single one." I was like, "Cool."
That's right.
Is that going to get me a pay raise? Not yet.
Pay me.
Is that, are you telling me for like potential leverage, or is it just you reminding me of how much of a
I think it was his way of saying take a day off.
Oh. No, it's freelance. No days off if they can be had.
No.
I, on the other hand, am taking a lot of days off because I fucking had to. So yeah.
I'm excited. I actually get to take the week after Christmas off for the first time in 5 years this year.
That's fucking nice.
I'm ecstatic. Yeah. Well, they're giving me 200 hours of PTO a year now.
So 200?
I get 5 weeks off a year. So
okay. Reminder. You work from home, right?
Yep, I do.
Plus, God,
this is my uniform. This is what I wear.
Why didn't I get into QA? Son of a bitch. Well, I mean,
yeah,
freelance ain't bad, but
yeah, 192 hours off a year. I get. It's so yeah. This is the first year I've had that though. So this is the first year I've been like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking that week off.
What are you gonna do?
I deserve it. Nothing.
Okay.
Fuck all, man.
Pantsless holiday.
Pantsless holiday. I am playing video games. I am scratching my balls. I am doing nothing.
Don't do that at the same time.
No.
And if you do that at the same time, if it's accidental, okay.
The controller works really well down there. It's got a natural hook.
Okay, so show me which controller that is for the next time I visit.
This is the Pro controller that Meredith reshelled for me.
Okay, fantastic. I won't touch it.
Pretty, isn't it?
It is actually. It's really nice. Oh, is that like the
It looks like the GameCube.
Yeah, it looks like the GameCube, but what is? I mean, she reshelled it, right? So it came from a manufacturer.
Yeah. What's it called? Extreme
Fight
Rate.
Stick. I'm sorry.
Extreme Rate.
Extreme. Oh, okay. All right. I had I had a Retro Fighters one that looked a little bit like that.
Yeah, that's a great controller too.
It was a great controller. It started petering the fuck out like early last year though, which is why I ended up going on a vision quest for a new controller. But because I'm picky about my shit.
Sure.
Today, well, you mentioned days off or like paid time off, and I know this is like scintillating fucking like radio chatter, especially for like a nerd oriented podcast. But I wanted to mention like this because it was like fucking funny as hell. So like every day that I'm working freelance is like a new learning experience for me because because the entire field just seems like something that should not or shouldn't possibly exist within like within like what we expect to be of our typical working industries. Just like I'm used to full time, or I'm sorry, I'm used to like the workaday pattern. You have to come in no matter how many hours or how few hours you work. You're coming in. And freelance, one of the things that I kind of knew about it, but I didn't know how flexible this was, is that like you can just like not come to work if you wanted to, and they'd have to find someone else, and that's it. And then I had like a thing happen over the summer, which was whatever, but I ended up having to take like a lot of time off because of health stuff. And they were like, I was like, hey, I can't work today. I'm not functioning. I haven't slept in like 3 days. Can we get maybe one of the staffers over here? And they were like, do that. And you get the next 2 weeks off also. Cause I think I think that they know that like sleep is a serious issue in television. So,
oh yeah.
Which was another thing that I learned. So after that, I thought it was like, okay, but the big bummer there is that with freelance, you don't get any paid time off. At least you can't say, I'm going to stay home sick for a week and then I'll still be able to make that money.
Yeah.
Until today. So I joined a union about a month ago. And the reason I did that was mostly because A, I wanted to stay like higher up on the crewing list, and B, I wanted to start getting health insurance. And
Sure.
One of the things I didn't know about the union is that basically they act like the full-time benefits package, but for freelancers. And that includes, and I found this out literally like a day ago, that includes paid time off. So I started getting sick. You guys knew about that. I was like, crying about suggestions or whatever, remedies, because I hadn't gotten sick in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I called him a day ahead. It's like, hey, I'm starting to come down with a sore throat. I don't have to leave today, but do you think that maybe like 2 days from now, you could keep somebody on call? And they're like, tell you what, just go ahead and take the day off, and I'll see if we can get you. We'll get you some sick time. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean fucking sick time? I'm freelance. We don't we don't do no sick time and freelance. And she's like, no, well, you're in NABET now, so you actually do. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, didn't. You probably shouldn't have told me that. So yeah, it's like constant education with this fucking business. It's so strange.
The weirdest thing for me to kind of wrap my head around, and I've been working from home now for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's still odd to me that I still learn new stuff about the fact that I have freedoms working
Mm-hmm.
from home.
Mm-hmm.
Was that I asked my boss if it was okay if we went to Seattle for a week and I worked from Seattle, and his exact words were, "I don't fucking care where you work from." And I was like, wait, what? He goes, "Are you going to show up for work?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't give a shit where you do it from. Go to Tokyo. I don't give a fuck." I was like,
it's work from home. Home follows you.
Yeah. So yeah. we went to Seattle for a week this year, and I got to take a week's vacation in Seattle, just waking up at 5:30 in the morning to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
I was done by 2:00 every day. I was able to go have fun. It was awesome.
I'm honestly surprised. I don't know what something that Mary said to me like a couple of months ago. I don't remember what it was, but that led me to believe that y'all were going to start taking on start doing like the work on the road lifestyle, which you can completely do.
We could.
Yeah.
We had talked about it years ago, but it's no, that's not in the cards right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. But the thing is that like you both work from home now, and it's completely like doable at some point, like as far as like your professional obligations are concerned.
If we wanted to, yeah. I mean, and Victor does virtual school.
Yeah.
So like there's nothing but options there if we really want.
Untethered.
Yep.
Fuck it. Anyway. With
all this extra time off.
Hey, I got the segue. Hang on a second. So, speaking of sick days, No, shit. We're talking about Saturday morning cartoons. God damn it. All right, somebody smarter than me do it.
You were almost there.
Defeat from the jaws of victory, Corey. Good job.
Fucking hell. You can't get sick on Saturday. That's bad news.
Very much get sick on Saturdays.
I mean, you can, yeah, but you're not going to tell your parents. You're gonna play hooky. No, you're gonna play possum until Monday, and then Monday's when the snot comes out.
Yeah, no. If you're sick on Saturday, you go outside and barf in the shrubs so no one hears you.
Exactly.
Because you want to save that sick for Monday when you're like, no, I've got 103 fever, Mom. I can't go to school today.
Yeah, as soon as you wake up and you feel that pull in the back of your throat, you're like, I'm thinking Mark wanted me to come over today. I'm gonna go over to my friend's house, and then you literally just go over to the empty lot at the edge of the neighborhood, and you're like, oh fuck,
like a wounded dog.
Yeah. You play camouflage the entire day, and then Monday you're like, bleh!
You just lie down miserable like Fry's dog in Futurama, and just
exactly. Everything's just horrible. Mom, come check out what I just did to the toilet. You need evidence.
Every time I think I remember like talking about barfing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a sketch on You Can't Do That on Television, where one of the kids pretended to be sick and he dumped a can of vegetable soup into the toilet. And he was and the mom, the lady that always played the mom on the show comes in and was just like, oh sweetie, I'm so sorry, why don't you go back to bed? And the kid goes, okay, and she goes, not you. she picks up the vegetable soup can and cradles it like a baby and carries it back away off screen. That has lived in my head for 35 years.
Oh, it's so funny you mentioned that. Somebody on I don't know, I came across this TikTok video the other day where they were talking about what was her name, Moose, on the show.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the actress that played her. Apparently she's doing pretty well for herself nowadays. But that led me down the You Can't Do That on Television rabbit hole. I was just like, God damn, that the one dude that played the adult, the dad or Barthy or whoever, that was like one crazy talented motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that show was like way the hell ahead of its time.
All right, but anyway,
yeah.
So now that I've wrecked the segue, we're talking Saturday morning shows today. And Bob, what's the idea?
Oh.
What's the idea?
Well, the idea reminded me. Remember last year we did the N64 draft with Toby Von Doom.
Yep.
And I was thinking that was a lot of fun. That was that was pretty successful. We should do something like that again, except for something we're rather passionate about, something we're all opinionated about. We all have our favorite Saturday morning shows. But two things we have to hammer out first. Well, actually three things. The first one being, because it works so well with Toby, I thought we should have ourselves another guest.
Yeah! Oh, that's awesome. Okay, sorry.
So, rejoining us, ever since our Cretan's Christmas Carol episode, we have Keith Galwa.
Hello, hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Man, that's I've been in the green room, listening to this whole thing so far, and
pulling out his fingernails probably,
and trying to think whether I should just if I should have just exited already, but no.
No, it's okay.
No.
Go ahead and open gullet like a bottle of seltzer and just let it out whenever you want to. You'll yeah.
I was like, man, I have not hung out with these guys since the Christmas episode, and just sitting here and listening to you guys, I'm like, oh boy, I'm in for a wild ride here today.
That is what we do. Yeah.
It's never too late to salvage your reputation. You could just cut bait right now.
Not yet.
I don't have a reputation.
Keith, we're really glad to have you here. You were a friend of ours back in the Podfix days. So aside from that one Christmas episode, I'm really surprised we haven't had you on the show before.
Well, you did stab me in the back in that first Royal Rumble thing you did.
Oh yeah, the Creator Royal Rumble thing.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That's a given. Those are pretty much all business.
Yeah, I had no control over that.
Yeah, we're not done in the Rumble.
Yes, we are definitely not done. We're having a fifth member join us. our old friend from the
Robbie?
Somebody's Network.
Oh.
He's a
That's a
content
name
creator.
I've not heard in a long time.
He's a content creator. He's a streamer. He is a former/future podcast host. I guess he can tell us more about it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jason Knorr.
Hello, everybody. What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going?
Are with us.
Yes, sir. It's been 26 years that I've been eligible for jury duty. I have not. Corey, I have a bigger fleshlight collection than you. Let's not argue.
It's true.
It's true.
I'm not even I'm not going to argue that at all.
And I also got screwed in that Creator Royal Rumble. So, I'm happy to be here for a little bit of vengeance. It's good to see you guys again.
You as well, man.
How many heel turns are we talking about here? Like, what have you been? Have I missed like all of these like brutal betrayals on the part of Bob?
No, you haven't missed any of them. You just don't remember them.
That's That's a point. All right, well, let's get on with this so I can forget about this in about an hour or two.
Yeah. So, folks, I guess a couple of things we've got to hammer out here. First off, do we really need to hammer out the definition? I mean, we're pretty much, the term Saturday morning is going to be very loose because regionally, some shows that aired Monday through Friday would also air syndicatedly on Saturday mornings. So
my chief concerns were that we were going to let nostalgia overlap each other. I think it's pretty easy to define a Saturday morning cartoon. It's a cartoon. It's on Saturday fucking mornings. But a lot of us would be like, well, does maybe Thundercats count? Because sometimes it would be on Sunday mornings on TBS. And it's like, no, fucking no. That's Sunday mornings. And we're all at church, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
exactly.
Saturday mornings, it's animated. And that's where we're going to draw the line. That's where I'm going to draw the line.
And on the list I'm looking at, Thundercats is actually the first thing.
Are you shitting me? Where?
Yeah,
IMDb.
Like I said, regionally, some of these shows that we experienced were on Saturday mornings. Sometimes they were on Monday through Friday. It depends where you live. So it's going to be hard to define what a Saturday morning show is, especially when you get to like the streaming era. That's going to be kind of, I don't know. So
every day is Saturday morning then.
Yeah, that's true.
Word. That's what we're just talking about.
Maybe if one of us makes a suggestion, makes a draft pick, the rest of us can make a like a jury vote, I guess, since we're going this route.
I think we should all have one veto.
Okay, I like that. One veto per
like
person.
Fun.
One veto per person, and it's only in the case of. No, I'm sorry. That's not a Saturday morning. You can't veto because you wanted to pick something.
Okay.
All
right.
And then pick it next. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then, two other things I would.
I'm not. I get the whole regional thing. So I'm growing up in the Midwest. I got a pretty good idea of what Saturday morning is. I don't know. So I'm not going to really. If somebody's really going to lobby for what they say is something they saw on a Saturday morning one weekend at their grandma's house. Who lived in like Canada or something, that I won't argue against.
Whoa! Some of us still live in Canada.
It's still a Dudley Do-Right country up there, man. Relevance-wise, that shit will never die in some parts of the world.
All right. Well, then, two other things we pretty much have to come to an agree on is we've got to talk about individual single series. So if you say a name, you can't claim the entire franchise. Like there's been 5 Garfield different shows. There's been Fantastic Funnies, Garfield Originals, Garfield Friends, The Garfield Show, and Heathcliff.
Heathcliff is not Garfield.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
No, he's not.
Not even close.
The fuck he is, sir.
He was not voiced by Lorenzo Music. We're not counting that.
Can I veto something already?
Yes. We can veto Bob on this one.
Yes.
All right.
I kind of want to agree with Bob now because I'm feeling bad about it.
I don't need your pity.
They're both orange and they're both cats. I guess he's got a kind of a point. And
To your
It's
point, though,
profiling, but still.
I agree that it should be series and not universe. Like you can't just say, "Oh, Spider-Man," and you have every Spider-Man cartoon. You got to pick Spider-Man the animated series or Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, something like that.
I'd pick the shit out of Ultimate if it wasn't a Disney Plus thing, but
spin-offs would be separate things as well. They cannot be like
then I've got a fuck of a monkey wrench to throw into this whole thing then, because this will be fun to talk about. But we'll let that be like a surprise.
All right. The last thing, do we want to keep the show's tone into play? Like, should these all be family-oriented shows, or is it anything that could be for any kind of audience? Corey,
I don't think any of us are gonna fucking pick Meet the Press, Bob. Like it's.
No, today with Charles Corral. I was totally going to go in that direction. Again, fucking Sunday morning, so no, it wouldn't count. No, because I know that like at least one of us is going to suggest a cartoon that went hard dark unexpectedly every once in a while. And it's going to be the same cartoon, so whoever gets to it first is going to get it. No, I don't think tone should count for shit in this.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any audience is good to go?
We're saying ESPN Saturday morning game day kickoff does not count, correct?
Correct.
That's adult Saturday morning for me.
We could at least stick with the caveat that it has to be animated, right?
No.
Oh.
Not every show, not every Saturday morning programming was animated.
Oh, one of you assholes is going to pull out Saved by the Bell, ain't you?
Yeah, but this says cartoon. It says cartoon right in the gimmick. Like, don't change. Please don't change.
We're throwing out names and stuff here.
I just do that. It's like Tourette's, except intentional.
All right, so now we have to figure out our order.
Okay.
Just to keep it simple, I got a 20-sided dice here.
All right.
Jason, I'm going to roll it for you. You're an 8.
Thank you. Oh.
Keith, you are a 20.
Of course I am.
Jay, you're a 1.
Oh.
Not exactly a bad thing.
Wait, are we rolling? It's
7?
a D20. Are we rolling naturals and fails or what?
Yes. And I am also 7. So Corey, you and I, and that's a 14. So let's see. We are going to go. Who was the 20? Keith?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Next was
14, right?
14. That would be me. No, I could just go ahead and put Jay at the end there.
Yep.
We know he was a 1. Corey was a 7. And Jason, what were you?
8.
8.
Wait, who? Oh, you were the 14, not me. Okay.
All right, so now we have our order. Keith, you are going to kick this off. It is a snake draft. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back and forth until our heads are dizzy.
All right.
Already there.
All right. Well, this this means I have to go with something I really, really love to make sure that I get it, because I'm not sure where you guys would be picking from. But I am going to take, it came out in 1980, 2 seasons, 21 episodes, Hanna-Barbera's Thundar the Barbarian.
That is a solid way to start this. Thundar.
Wow.
Fucking vintage.
2 R's on Thundar, sir.
Yes,
respect
2
on
R's,
that.
yes.
Created by none other than the creator of Howard the Duck, by the way, Steve Gerber.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
I love Keith is dropping facts on it while he's also making his pick. That's awesome.
Yeah. You got Thundar, you got Princess Ariel. Ukla the Mock is one of my favorite characters. I mean, basically a Chewbacca ripoff of some sort.
That was Dollar Tree Chewbacca, right?
Yeah.
But looked a lot more badass, actually.
I would agree.
I remember the Triceratops that would shoot rocks out of his horns or something.
No, that's a different show.
That's Herculoids.
Oh, was it? Shit.
Yeah. Thundar, they always showed in like the beginning of it, like the moon like kind of broke up a little bit or something, and it says it takes place in the future of the year 3994.
It was a technologically like retrograded future. I actually don't remember that bit, but so that's kind of nice. It's kind of nifty. I just remember it being kind of like this odd like planet hopping fantasy cartoon.
I remember watching that on USA Cartoon Express, if I remember correctly.
That's where I saw most of the older like vintage Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it on Saturdays, plus then getting it on the USA Network. He had that cool sun sword, which is basically a fire blade of some sort. Now, one of the reasons I will pick this is because, and I haven't watched it in a while, but I have watched it once as an adult and found myself laughing at things that were going on in episodes that no kid would have caught on to. The one I specifically remember, I think they're going after the Rat Queen or something like that. And the princess, they're riding along, and she's like, says something about she hears the Rat Queen is very beautiful, and she's like, not as pretty as me, right, Thundar? And Thundar just looks straight ahead and gets his horse to ride faster. And leaves her behind. And it was great.
That's magnificent.
There's like two, because I watched, it was like on Cartoon Network, I think, at sometime like the 2000s, and I was up late night watching it one time. And I was like, there were like 3 or 4 episodes in a row where there was something where I was immediately like, I really? Like, I would have never thought this would not have been funny to me as a kid, but now I'm like, can we get like a live action movie? Can we get a remake or something? Anything would be great.
That's pretty cool. Maybe
the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe someday.
Maybe just restored episodes. That'd be cool. I mean, they kind of did like a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe with Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, if you remember that.
Yeah, where they brought in like Dynamite and stuff like that.
Dynamite and Jabberjaws and shit, right? Well, technically that one was like a Reverie episode, but still, they were like pulling from like all those old cartoons for source material for that series.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, this is one of my all-time favorites. Also, though, it falls into the line of I don't know if I want to, like, I did enjoy those couple episodes at one time. I don't know if I want to watch this again because I end up watching other stuff and I go, man, this absolutely sucks. Why did I watch this as a kid? I don't want to ruin that memory of Thundar, but
don't want to kill the magic.
Yeah, but if I gotta sit and wait, 9 picks to come back around to me, I want to get some good starting talent.
Yeah, that's a hell of a way to get it going.
Yeah, I applaud the bravery. I am not so brave on that hand, but I will pick one of my favorite shows of all time, the Transformers G1 show.
That's one of those ones where I'm wondering if that was on Saturday mornings as well. I remember watching that with Thundercats a lot.
Really?
Transformers?
I don't know if it actually. I don't know if it actually aired like first run on Saturday mornings, but I remember it being in my block for sure.
I do too. Actually, up in Massachusetts.
Okay. All right.
Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats were all Saturdays.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
That was a good hour and a half.
Oh yeah. That works. That was one of those ones I wasn't really quite sure because I remember watching the living shit out of both of them, but I also remember like getting home from school before doing so, which is why I wasn't clear on it.
Yeah, there was specifically a block of 4 shows when I got home from school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it could have been like syndicated animation. Yeah. I know for sure I'd love to say like Inspector Gadget, but that shit aired at 7 p.m. every night on Nickelodeon, and I know that for a fucking fact.
Doesn't mean it's not. Yeah, I think you're taking it too literally. That's why I thought the Saturday morning needs to be a looser title.
Oh, I'm taking it very literally.
Okay. Jason,
I'm not going to argue with that one either. That's a fantastic show. I love that one.
Yeah.
By the way, have you guys been reading the new Energon Universe comics of the Transformers?
I don't think so. I probably should be because I know they involve G.I. Joe, but I haven't been.
And the GoBots.
No,
wow.
Not the GoBots. Jesus. No, it might be the best Transformers thing I've read in like a long time. Optimus Prime rips his own arm off to beat the shit out of somebody with. It's great.
Isn't that a Voltron gag? Like I distinctly remember Voltron doing that.
I think Voltron disconnected himself at one time in the comic.
Yeah.
Prime is going to fight with somebody, he actually just rips his own arm off.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to use my green line to hit your ass with my red line. You don't want that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But if you get some free time, it's the Energon universe. I think Robert Kirkman is behind part of it.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
They've got a whole bunch of G.I. Joe, Transformer, and then he came up with another thing called the Void Rivals that all like kind of interconnect and stuff like that. Everything I've read so far has been great from it, but the Transformer one has been fantastic.
Cool.
That's great.
I haven't checked out monthly comics in a long time, so I had to like bookmark that at least a little to check it out. Sorry, that was not worth interrupting anything for.
Fair enough. Let me jump in with my pick. I'm again also going safe, but I'm also realizing as I say this that it explains a lot about me. I'm picking He-Man and Masters of the Universe and the Masters of the Universe. Yes. You know, a dude in a metal singlet, that kind of explains a hell of a lot about me, and I won't go in further detail. It built my world well before I knew it was.
I hope you keep that cosmic key of yours washed. Anyway, me. Okay, one of my first ones then.
Your very first one,
as opposed to my second first one. Real Ghostbusters.
Oh, good pick.
Real Ghostbusters. Somebody, Keith was just talking about like the disconnect that he felt watching Thundar again, and seeing that seeing the quality interspersed with a whole lot of like that product's shortcomings because of the time in which it was produced and on the shoestring budget that was producing it. And the Real Ghostbusters, whenever I like try to watch this cartoon, I try to get really selective and remember the ones that I know that I've seen before that like sucked out loud, because that's a whole fuckload of them. It's a lot of that show. And the ones that were like,
this one's a gorilla.
No, that was the first Ghostbusters. Actually,
oh, you did it. You set off Corey's nerd alarm.
And that's like, it's funny that you mentioned that, because you just mentioned He-Man, right? It came from Filmation. It was the same studio, and back in the day, like when you get into your like preteen, fake cynicism phase of your life, you start like taking apart everything that led up to your existence before that, and a lot of that has to do with your childhood. At that point, I was like, because I'm a lifelong animation nerd, I started like just beating the shit out of Filmation for no reason at all, because a lot of the techniques that it used in order to produce those episodes could be argued as being very grindhousey. They would reappropriate like cycled frames and things like that. Later on, I found out that was fucking brilliant. That's why it looked like all their episodes could be animated on singles instead of on twos. But Ghostbusters was a product of that time and that studio, and they did this in like the sneakiest fucking way. They wanted to ride on the coattails of the Real Ghostbusters, and I'm not going to go into the titling drama there. You can figure that out. They did it based off of like the show that Ivan Reitman and Joe Medjuk had to get the rights from in order to make their Ghostbusters. And it was just like, there's just money sitting on the table. Why are we not taking advantage of that? And when they realized that the producers of the old show that had the rights, they were like, God damn it, we just lost a shit ton of licensing money because of this. They said, you know what? No, we're going to try to get some of the fall off revenue from the actual Ghostbusters, the ones that are like everybody knows now, and we're going to make that happen for us. The show itself did not suck out loud. It was corny, like it was cornier than a movie theater than a movie theater floor. But the animation was still there, the production was still there, and whenever it counted, it got like crazy fucking imaginative. So it was cool for you to bring that up. And because it only lasted 2 seasons, pretty sure, like per capita, more ratio of better episodes than the Real Ghostbusters, honestly speaking. Did everyone catch all that, by the way?
Yeah. Like I said, you set off his nerd alarm.
Sorry.
You got 2
I
picks.
apologize. I was trying not to do that.
God damn it, the Spurg. Anyway,
so I get 2 now, correct, Bob?
Correct.
All right, my first round pick is Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Damn, curveball. Cool.
Solid pick.
It's just classic show. Nothing in it misses. It is exactly what it sets out to be. Doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. It's just a great show.
Our first Swerve. That's the only live action pick so far, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Am I wrong in thinking there was an animated form of Pee-wee's Playhouse at some point? Am I Mandela affected?
There were animated segments in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
Claymation stuff, but an actual Pee-wee show, I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah, not that I remember.
Lawrence Fishburne action. You get a little Phil Hartman.
Wait, was Hartman ever on the morning the Saturday morning show? I thought he was just in the stage show.
No, he was the mailman.
he was there.
Oh, he was Captain Carl, but I didn't know that. I didn't know he
Lawrence
actually made the
Fishburne
transition. I thought he like purposefully kept himself off of it.
That I don't know.
I've never seen the stage show, so
I need to study up on my Phil Hartman lore then. Shit.
I actually thought, because we were talking with all the talk about, it was going to be animated or live, I actually thought that one was going to fall a few rounds and I'd get a chance at it. Nice pick there.
Thank you very much.
It was one of the prettiest offerings in Saturday morning for sure, especially if you're like in the stagecraft and shit.
Absolutely.
That's a gorgeous set. Like all of us wanted to live in a living room like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make it happen.
All right, my second round pick, Muppet Babies.
Okay, I get to take that one off the list then.
Another solid choice.
Which is just all-timer for me. Kept the Muppets relevant after the show had been canceled and the movies weren't being made anymore. Fantastic animation, great idea. Just let's explore imagination and make it work. And that was great. Awesome show.
Got to look at Grammy's yams every Saturday. Yeah, what?
Every single Saturday.
All right. I'm surprised nobody's mentioned D&D yet. I thought that was going to be like the first out of the gate.
It's the second round.
Well, I know, but I thought like people were going to reach for the real Ghostbusters or something like that first, and then like maybe D&D afterwards. But yeah, D&D is mine. Huh?
No, just trying to keep it rolling.
I just like the casualness of D&D's mine.
Yeah, it's mine. It's all mine, and you can't have it. Mine.
I enjoyed. That was one of my favorite parts of that Dungeons and Dragons movie with the Chris Pine one that came out this past year. They put them in there.
Yeah, Bob was just telling me that the other day. I haven't seen that movie yet.
I spoiled him.
Oh, sorry,
they're not. It was spoiled.
They're not major characters, but it's cool to see them in there, and you immediately recognize them.
Yeah, they're like way off over there.
Yeah, killer character designs. Like that was one of that shows one of those shows hallmarks. And as far as tone goes, since you mentioned it earlier, Bob, those writers didn't give a fuck. They did not care. If anybody like talks about like that one episode of D&D, and all of us here have seen it, right? Like the show itself.
I have a DVD copy of like a 10-episode thing sitting upstairs.
Jealous. Does everybody remember the one episode where like they were all forced to relive their or live through their like darkest nightmares?
Vaguely.
Oh my god, that shit fucked me up.
It has legitimately been decades since I've watched that show.
Yeah,
that was one of those shows, or one of those episodes rather, that like along with I'm not going to mention that because it's one of my picks. But like I have to like watch it once every 2 to 3 years just to make sure that it like actually happened. And that it wasn't some sort of a bizarre fever dream that my prepubescent recollect just came up with. But it was the one character, the Archer. His fear somehow manifested into a staircase that went on forever. Who that would disappear behind him if he didn't keep going, and beneath him was just this void. And I was like, I am literally 6 fucking years old. Do not confront me with that right now. It's yeah. That was some bizarre shit to see. At least that early on. I don't know. Maybe as an adult, I'd be like, right there with you, pal. Right there with you.
Jason.
My second pick is got to be Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Just a big pile of nostalgia for me. I think this actually did air on Saturday mornings. I think that's when I remember watching it most. It says there's only 41 episodes, so I must have watched each one at least 20 times.
Go ahead, sorry.
I couldn't tell you anything about them, but
that was just one version of Scooby-Doo, right?
They stopped somebody from doing a crime, I believe.
Pretty much. This version I'm talking about was from 1969 to 1978, which is really weird to think. It's 9 years and only 41 episodes.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, no, actually, that was back when Hanna-Barbera was like doing like 12-minute episodes, and then they would combine different ones into like a single episode, right? So it's like reruns that aren't reruns.
Could be. Yeah, very well could be.
Could have been that.
Also, just looking at the wiki here, and apparently Casey Kasem was in it.
Yeah, Casey Kasem was Shaggy.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I did not know that. Well, I didn't look at the credits when I was young, and I certainly wasn't going to find them now.
It was really fun when Batman and Robin guest starred on there, and he played both Robin and Shaggy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like Hanna-Barbera's go-to dude for like a long time, him and Welker.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, they would always have that one like crossover episode where they would bring in like Don Knotts.
Mm-hmm. Don Knotts and Tim Conway.
Yeah, just randomly show up, and kids are supposed to, like, especially if you're seeing it as a rerun in like the 80s, you're like, who the fuck is this? The guy from Three's Company? Like, also, I'm an 8-year-old. What do I know what Three's Company is? I don't know.
That was, and you knew that was a studio that was like, okay, we got to cut these guys a check or something. They work easy and for peanuts. But like by that point, who the hell was going to recognize Don Knotts or Tim Conway of all people from anything? Like I think the most well-known thing they were in before that was Carol Burnett or fucking Apple Dumpling Game. It couldn't be that. Maybe they're just really hurting that much for guest stars.
All right, Bob.
Okay. I'm just looking at like the ocean of picks that I have to choose from. It's actually a lot harder than I thought.
That's what's
true. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the furry in me, Thundercats.
I don't. I did.
That one's all yours.
I mean,
you can have Thundercats. That show did not age well.
It didn't. Well, a lot of this shit did not. Like, I've tried watching. I was just telling you about Real Ghostbusters, but like, I tried to watch Transformers recently, and it was like, this is rough.
I will say between Transformers, Thundercats, and He-Man, we have like 3 of the 4 also after school pillars now in place as well.
True. That's true. I do remember watching He-Man a lot in the afternoon as well.
I think if somebody picks the next one, like a void is going to open up and suck us all back in time or something.
Now, Bob, why would you have to be a furry to get into Thundercats?
Because Chitara was hot.
But you didn't.
Chitara?
Yeah.
That's pretty much universally appreciated, I think.
Yeah.
The pilot episode, she's freaking naked.
Yeah.
Why do you think you got past the pilot episode, Bob? Come on.
like one of those attributes is not going to like vault and like nullify the other stuff.
Do we bring up Rule 34 or no? Oh, sorry.
That's where a lot of us became aware of Rule 34 as a concept, if not in the letter of the law. You know, today is the day I learned how to draw. Do not draw Lion-O with a fringed dick. Don't do that though. That's weird. Cat anatomy is so bizarre.
That's got to be a clip you guys hold on for something.
That's a new short being uploaded to TikTok.
All right, my second pick here, the first 2 back-to-back ones. Gonna go with one of the first cartoons I ever really remember watching. 1978. There's 2 seasons, 26 episodes. Godzilla from Hanna-Barbera.
What?
Nice.
What?
It started off as Godzilla Power Hour, then it got its own, like, they, instead of teaming it up with somebody else, they just let it run by itself. Basically, it was like this family. They were on a boat, and they could summon Godzilla to help them stop whatever the monster of the week was. Yep. They had Godzilla's nephew Godzuki would show up.
Godzuki.
He had these really small wings, and he would just get in trouble as well. But I used to love it. Like, no matter where they were, they would call, and all of a sudden, like, he would just pop up out of the water, no matter where they were. I think there's like one episode. I think they're in like the mountains, and they summon him, and he pops up out of the lake.
And he never looks happy about it.
No,
he always looked pissed.
God damn it! Yeah, I was taking a nap. What are you guys doing? He would breathe fire, and he had heat vision as well.
This is one of those fever dream things that I was talking about earlier. If I saw this like once and then never again, I'd be like, that didn't happen. It just no. I need verification.
That was another one I watched on Cartoon Express on USA.
Shit. Yeah, so that really happens.
that was a definite top-notch one that I loved there.
So if this family was like vacationing on Lake Ontario and they were like, shit, these guys are drilling for oil, we got to do something about this, and be like, Godzilla, and he just pop up in the middle of the lake.
There was probably a monster helping to stop the drilling or whatever, or help with the drilling, and they wanted to stop it. They were kind of like a Johnny Quest type family. Like they were always on like some kind of like scientific adventure type thing. And for some reason, they could summon him whenever they wanted to.
Well, until he decides to get rid of his pager, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I would have done right away, honestly. Maybe like, bing.
Yeah. I mean,
enough of these assholes.
I do remember he did jump up, like he came up out of like a lake in the middle of the mountain one time, if I remember right. Yeah. If not, that's a great concept I just came up with there.
Yeah, the guys remaking Cloverfield are going to get right on that. I can see. I can totally see.
They're remaking Cloverfield?
Apparently, there's going to be a direct sequel coming out, so you will see the monsters' escapades at like 5 movies later.
I literally just watched that last weekend.
I love that movie so much. Different topic, though. Sorry.
Yeah, different topic. All right. Okay, I'm going to get a little crazy with my next pick. I don't necessarily think this is round 3 talent, but why not? I'm going to take from 1984. There's one season, 13 episodes. You cannot even find all of them anywhere. Even YouTube doesn't have all 13. It is Turbo Teen.
No, I know Turbo Teen. That's one of the ones I remember. Yeah. My first exposure to body horror.
You can get the little clip of him changing from human to car and back again. Even Teen Titans made fun of it at one time with Robin, I think, changing into a car. It is very creepy to watch.
Yeah, that's some haunting shit. But for some reason, my little 5-year-old brain was okay with it.
Yeah. It is such an odd show. I actually recently rewatched an episode of it for another little podcast project I was working on, and we watched it as like a side episode, and it's absolutely just. I think he dances at one point in time as the car, like just spinning around, hoping nobody notices. There's some bad guys. There's a bad guy, the Dark Rider, drives a monster truck. He's trying to find out how to turn himself into a monster truck. I don't really understand the entire thing, but it seems a shame that you can't find every episode out there.
Nobody wants to go through the trouble to download it.
I don't think I'd want to go through the trouble of watching it as an adult, honestly. Not that I have like too many like other frames of reference against which to pit. It's like this thing is Cronenbergian as fuck. But
that's probably the one most innocent show that you really hope nobody walks in while you're watching. Once you watch it, no.
And you paused it right while he's like butt extending.
Yeah, right when he's turning into the yeah. All right, for my third pick, this one might get vetoed, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I'm going to veto the shit out of that. That's like Disney Afternoon almost, right?
That was still in the same...
It never aired on a Saturday though, dude.
Yeah, it didn't air on a Saturday. There's an interesting bit of trivia that you dropped on us both, Bob, or before the show got started like proper. And that was that like you're able to find a schedule of like all the Saturday morning cartoons from a certain year on up to a certain year. I didn't really know or notice that there was like a deadline for Saturday morning cartoons, and it happened to be 2002, correct?
Well, 2008, I thought.
2008?
2002 is when that list ended for network listings of Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, yeah. So
I think if you actually like look up on like Wikipedia or something like Saturday morning cartoons, it does actually list off like that's the death of it is like 2002 or something like that.
Which is such a bummer because
2003.
Good Lord, I could have sworn it was more recent. Like, weren't we fucking watching Ultimate Muscle in that year?
Yeah, I mean, Fox was still broadcasting at that time.
Yeah. Speaking of promising Saturday mornings, damn, Fuck, and they come to think of it, that was like the last year I actually remember watching Saturday morning cartoons too. Jeez. Well, anyway, yeah, that was on Disney, and that was, if we're going by that metric, a good 2012 was Gravity Falls, right?
I don't think the channel should come into play.
Okay, all right. Well, notwithstanding the channel, it didn't air on Saturday mornings, and whenever I watched it, it was always on in the afternoons, like almost the evening, I think. But that's my argument, and that's the extent of it.
I unfortunately have not watched more than about an episode or two of that. For some reason,
Oh, that's a shame.
I could never get my kids to sit down and watch it. So I can't argue for or against here, but you guys sound like experts on the timeline there, and I'm at the back them, Bob. Sorry.
I'm very upset about that because that's one of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm sure it's a lot of other people's favorite shows of all time.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
How did I invite Keith onto this?
You're not wearing a Gravity Falls shirt right now.
Yeah.
and it's a Thursday night, not Saturday, so it still doesn't count.
I don't know. I think dropping both Godzilla and Turbo Teen in like a pretty heady like 1-2 of Saturday morning deep cuts more than justifies your presence here. So,
all right,
don't sweat that.
All right, then I'm gonna go with original run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That is a solid fucking
hell yeah, solid.
There you go.
Surprised that wasn't in the first round.
That was that was on my way too.
I forgot about it.
There's a lot of good Turtles tunes though. I think the Turtles have been like a steady presence on Saturday mornings up until the death of the Saturday morning cartoon, right?
I remember seeing an article saying that when Ninja Turtles, whatever iteration it was in 2008, got moved from whatever network to some other network, that pretty much marked the unofficial end of the Saturday morning run.
I can believe that.
They're experiencing a bit of resurgence now, though. I don't know why. I just
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Well, the Paramount Plus stuff and the movie that Paramount put out is actually really good.
Yeah, they're actually teenagers. It's crazy.
There was one from 2010 that was really good too. That fucking blew my mind because it was also like
the CGI series.
Yeah, it was like its first foray into CGI. So I was like all cynical about it, and I was like, God damn it, that was actually a good film. Fuck this. Shit.
Well, then there's the 2013 animated series, which I maintain is the best Ninja Turtles ever done.
Yeah, that was quality. Dude, I saw like the bombest shit. I don't know if anybody's been in a Best Buy in like the last 5 years, but we've got like a dying one up the street from me that looks almost like the last Radio Shack I ever went into. They still have like a bunch of toy shelves over there, and one of the things that stuck out to me was they created a black and white recreation of the first cover, or the cover of the first Eastman Laird Ninja Turtles.
That's cool.
But in like a 3D freeze kind of a way. It was pretty classy. I'm not like a huge Ninja Turtles dude. Like I know about as much of the lore as a casual person would be able to, but like I know what those old issues looked like, and that was like some serious craft. And I was like, I might get this. I don't know, because it's so gorgeous. But then I kind of felt like a poser at the same time.
The graphic novelizations of the first three movies were fantastic as well. They turned them into just straight graphic novels, and they were beautiful. I still have them somewhere.
Say what? I gotta look that up. Who drew them?
And they're supposed to be
Eastman and Laird.
Oh, really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty bomb.
They're supposed to be doing a movie adaptation of the Last Ronin storyline.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Before I make my next pick, can I get some clarity on the year? Like, is there a year cutoff?
I wasn't wanting to include a year, but these guys are playing hardball, so that's not up.
Yeah.
So what is the consensus then from the group on the year? Because I will
say 2008, based on Bob's statement about the Ninja Turtles moving from network to cable.
All right.
That at least provides us with a vague guideline. The only other thing is I'd say Saturday morning and it's animated. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. So that Fubar
on the animated part.
Well, okay, Saturday morning.
that Fubar is my pick, but I will go then with my one of my actual favorite cartoons.
Before you say it, can we hear what your pick was?
My pick was Phineas and Ferb. That my kiddo and I bonded over that immensely. But of course its run ended in 2024 and it started in 2007. So based on the technicalities here, probably not allowed. If you'll allow me, I'll take it. If not, I do have other picks.
Okay,
I'm voting yay.
Was it Saturday morning? Yeah, it would be a real shame to not have that on any list, honestly. But was it Saturday morning?
Being that regional differences matter, I watched it in the afternoon with my kid. I have no idea if it ever aired on Saturday morning. That's I'm okay. I'm okay if it's vetoed, but I did want to mention it.
If they can't prove that it did not air Saturday morning,
I used my veto, so I don't have a say in this.
Okay.
If somebody vetoed it, it would be for the same reasons I vetoed Gravity Falls.
Was that
understood?
Nickelodeon show?
Yeah.
What was that, Keith?
That's is that a Nickelodeon production?
The Disney show.
Disney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I think Nickelodeon ran some Saturday morning cartoon stuff a little bit longer than the other ones. So
Disney, Nickelodeon, TNT, Cartoon Network, for God's sakes,
TBS.
they all ran Saturday morning stuff for a long time.
TBS was always like a gauntlet of quality because they would show vintage cartoons and then wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that I mean I don't necessarily want to use my veto, but I'm gonna say since we vetoed Bob's Gravity Falls, I think we have to veto that one too, though, based on that previous thing.
All right, that's your one.
Hey, it's in good company if that's consolation.
Perfect. That's no worries there. So this was actually one of my favorites growing up until I realized how terrible it was. I'm going with the Flintstones.
Wait. The old school Flintstones are the ones from the 80s where they were doing that, where they were living next to the Not Munsters.
No. 1960 to 1966, the ones that reran in the 80s.
Yep.
I don't want to use my veto, but Flintstones was originally a prime time series.
Yeah,
that is a Saturday morning cartoon, according to that.
It's on my list.
It did re-air on Saturdays.
Okay, then you could take the Flintstone comedy show if you needed to.
Okay.
It's okay. If you need to follow
that's the appropriate response.
Listen, I'm the least knowledgeable person on this panel here, so I'm trying I'm going by the list. It says it's on there, but that's cool too. Fine.
I'm a cartoon lawyer here, sir. If you need it.
We got our own Harvey Birdman here.
Fair enough. Then I will just try Garfield and Friends, my all-time favorite orange cat.
Okay.
Just remember, you don't get to get Heathcliff with this pick.
That's right.
I hate Heathcliff with a passion, just like that's Clifford. I don't know why, but they would run them in a block back to back where I lived, and I was like, yeah, Garfield and Heathcliff. It's like I almost have the same irrational hatred for Caillou. And if you're unfamiliar with Caillou, then you're a blessed soul.
Yeah,
Caillou.
Okay, now
Caillou.
Fuck Heathcliff a little bit too much there, I think.
Yeah.
I love Garfield and Friends. Well, I like Garfield. I hated the Friends.
I just love the fact that Garfield was so abusive and Normal just kept coming back from it. Like, yeah, ship me to Abu Dhabi, daddy. Like, I'm ready.
So Garfield's a lasagna dom? Is that what we're saying?
100%.
Good night, folks. That's the show.
Lasagna dom.
Well,
this is why he's here, folks.
I mean, think about it. Odie does.
Such a good band name.
They definitely come well, Palooza.
Oh wow.
Lasagna dom.
We found the highlight. Oh God, I have to come on after that.
Yep.
Son of a
and see if you can
bitch.
keep it within 3 minutes.
Yeah, this ought to be easy. Let me see. All right. Now we're just kind of like drilling through the lesser knowns. Kinda, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Alf before someone gets to that. Although I don't really think anybody was gonna get to that.
That was definitely a Saturday morning.
Yeah, there was definitely a Saturday
can have
Oh.
Alf the animated series. I
Yes.
have not watched
Yes,
that at all.
Alf the animated series. Yeah, because the live action was prime time.
Yep, and I will take that. I see that was one of the concerns that I had though, because it was like part of a franchise that didn't initially start out. But I think by that point we're kind of splitting hairs anyway.
That's where he goes back to Melmac for a bit.
What's that now?
Doesn't he go back to his home planet on that one?
It was a prequel series.
Yeah, prequel.
Yeah,
So he's got the
prequel.
Hawaiian shirt on, right?
He's playing
Yeah, he's
baseball.
got the Hawaiian shirt. He learned how to play saxophone, which inspired me to pick up the alto saxophone in middle school because a fuzzy fucking alien played it. Yeah, right. No, like no lie. I started watching that on Amazon Prime. It's on Freevee and Prime if you want to if you get curious. I love the shit out of that show. Like most of these cartoons, it didn't age well, but it aged the least badly than a lot of other cartoons did that I used to like. And a lot about it was like way the fuck ahead of its time. Like the intro is like a bona fide. Hold up a second. Can we do this? I want to do it. The intro is a bona fide fucking banger, like without exaggeration.
Can we just can I just say we should probably look that up on our own time and
keep going. Yeah, sure.
Because we don't want to get a strike on that.
No.
Okay. My round 3 pick is The Tick.
Nice.
And I don't think I really need to explain it. It's great satire, fantastic cartoon. Speak the pug thing, potato. I don't really know. Right on. Round 4, sticking with Fox. We're going with X-Men the animated series.
Nice.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I hated the shit out of that cartoon when it first aired, but I started watching some of the episodes recently because of the Disney reboot or revitalization, I guess. I was like, this is not as bad as I remember it being.
You know what I don't like though?
Huh?
97. That show's fucking balls. It's so bad.
It's
heard. So bad.
I've heard.
Oh. Yeah. The animation is awful. It's the storylines are hackneyed. It's shit.
Dude, the animation is awful for no reason.
Yep.
You can understand why the animation was somewhat limited on the old one, because they were trying to create full frame representations of Jim Lee's stylizations. You're not gonna fucking do that.
Yep.
Like no matter how good, you could give that shit to Disney and they'd be like, we need about $3 million more, guys. No, X-Men is a good pick. Yeah. Just I didn't appreciate it when it was out, which kind of sucks.
All right, Corey, you're up.
I am up. That made fucking the tick made me remember something, and now I forgot. So we're just gonna go back to the well here. All right. I wanted to drop this in here, not to be like Mr. Animation hipster, but Rick Moranis in Gravedale High, which I didn't think anybody else was gonna pick that, but it's like too much of a perfect storm of both 80s-ness, B, animated spookiness, and C, stand-up comedian-ness. That was kind of like a weird trend in the early 90s of animation, because they also had Camp Candy and Ed Grimley, of all things.
Ed Grimley series is fucking bizarre. Like, I don't know where that one came from. I've never heard of Gravedale High, though.
No,
really?
That one's new to me.
I'm looking it up right now. 13 episodes aired on Saturday mornings on NBC. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. And the coolest thing about it was that, like, so for Camp Candy, which was like I think the more well-known of that SCTV triumvirate, John Candy didn't do the voice of the lead character in that, even though his name's on the goddamn cartoon. Rick Moranis did the voice of his character in Gravedale High. So the dude stood the fuck up and said, "This is my character. This is going to be me."
It's basically Rick Moranis and the Monster Squad. Looking at the summary of it,
totes. Yeah, that's all it is.
Creature from the Black Lagoon's name is Gil Waterman.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Voiced by Rorschach himself, Jackie Earl Haley.
Dude, look at that.
Wow.
It's fucking bizarre. It's okay. So Jackie Earl Haley's on there. I closed the tab.
Ricky Lake plays a mummy named Cleopatra.
Dude, I'm telling you,
that wouldn't fly today.
John Waters could not have come up with anything more perfect. It was so fucking money.
This I need to look it up. Is it playing anywhere?
Probably not. I mean, like I said, it was It was like a king size deep cut here. I think more people knew the Littles than this one, but yeah, I had to
like the
drop it in
Littles.
somewhere.
Frank Welker does 2 roles, including J.P. Gasly III, where he's impersonating Peter Lorre.
If you have Frank Welker on the payroll, you've got an overtimer.
It also says that Tim Curry did something in this also.
I have no idea what that was.
I have heard of the other Camp Candy and also the Ed Grimley show.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of this one.
Yeah. Well, I remembered it because it was like, all the shit that Corey likes. But it was also kind of like remained a poster, I guess an item of trivia because of like, the weird SCTV triumvirate that was in Saturday mornings for a couple of years. Like out of all the obscure shit to animate.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Jason,
what you got?
All right. What I got. Okay, we're going with a little bit of Canadiana here, the Ren and Stimpy show. Now, my story there is I actually got to meet Bob Camp at a convention, and we sang the Kilted Yaxman anthem together, and nobody videoed it. Nobody.
Yeah. We love Bob Camp. The other guy, not so
Absolutely.
much. I used to respect the shit out of that guy, but fuck, man.
Stimpy, you idiot.
Is this your favorite game?
Space Madness.
I
Space Madness is one of my favorite things. That episode is great.
Rubber Nipple Salesman is mine. That one was so beautifully animated, and especially since it was done at like, almost like a shoestring budget. You wouldn't have known.
Call the police.
Call the police.
And Bob knows this from like other shows that I've done. I like to make my own commercials up. So I also enjoyed that Ren and Stimpy would have their own fake commercials like Log and Powder Toast Man.
Powder Toast Man.
Some of those other crazy things. And then they would also do those close-ups. Like you see way too deep into like Stimpy's nose.
Oh, those hyper detailed painted still frames. Those are so gorgeous. Yeah.
Super creepy for a second there. Like, ew, no.
No, that was half of the appeal.
I'm trying to get my Frosted Flakes here, man.
No, that was a gorgeous fucking show.
4 for me. You know what? We're going with Mask.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about Mask.
Nice.
What the fuck? I mean, thank you, Bob, for the quality, but shit, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Beat on my pick, will you? Fuck.
Bob has got a solid starting 4 so far here. This is a nice
I definitely have the 8 to 12-year-old male demographic going on.
I don't know. His lineup looks pretty much like a program director's lineup. That's some quality shit. You're gonna sell a lot of toys based off of those 4 properties alone. My picks, at least one of them is going to get like the Parent Teachers Coalition down your throat. The fourth one, nobody fucking knows what it is.
Keith, you got 2 picks.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm actually surprised this one is still here. This came out in 1981, ran for 3 seasons, 24 episodes. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Who are the Amazing Friends? Well, anybody but Keith. Who are the Amazing Friends?
And Iceman.
All right, I said anybody but Keith, but yeah, that's them. That's I don't know what. So was like Iceman kind of like on a loan from the X-Men at that point, because the X-Men was still was airing at the same time, right? Not our X-Men, the old one, the really old one.
X-Men wasn't a thing yet.
The X-Men that saved the day was a thing at the time, right?
X-Men Saved the Day was 1988 with Pride of the X-Men. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Shit, that was a lot later than I thought it was.
Which was ended up being kind of the backdoor pilot for the 97 series.
Sorry.
Yeah, this was always a classic. One of the very key ones as far as Marvel ones that were out there. This is just a classic show that I loved.
Yeah,
and I was really surprised that it lasted that long. And then, well, let's see. I seem to be going solid pick, dumb pick, dumb pick.
So
You start with Thundar.
Yes, I did. All right, so my next one is going to be the show that I actually did a whole podcast based on, and then remembered that I wasn't watching cartoons when any Saturday morning that this show came out. Where the hell did where did the link go for it? Well, I don't need to tell you, but it's from 1991. It had 1 season, 12 episodes. It's Pro Stars. Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson,
Damn it!
Wayne Gretzky as superheroes, and
God damn that show!
it is.
That was my pick this round.
It's an absolute trash heap of a show. I watched all 13 episodes of it, and reviewed all of it. It was just crazy bad.
I was on one of your
Nasty
review
work.
shows of that episode.
I even got to do an interview with Susan Silo, who was the voice of the mom on there. I did a small little interview with her that like 12 people listened to. It was great. But the crazy part was I was like, man, I remember the show so vividly, so perfectly. And then once I actually saw that it came out in 1991, like the fall of 91, well, that was Saturday morning practices for football. I never once saw any of these shows.
Oh, wow.
I never saw a single episode of them. At least not in its initial run. And then because I think it ended up, like they replayed the 12 episodes like the next 6 years also.
Yes, they
but
did.
I saw plenty of it. But yeah, Pro Stars.
So you like gaslit yourself in your adulthood into thinking that you saw like a cartoon at one point?
Remember this show completely, and then watched it and was like, I have no idea what the fuck this is. Wayne Gretzky eats a lot.
Yep.
Bo Jackson is just a monster of a man in this, and Michael Jordan is the super smart one of the three.
Yep.
Apparently, it was originally intended to air on ESPN.
ESPN's first foray into the animation industry.
Fighting crime, helping children, and often protecting the environment as well.
That and making fat stacks for knowing how to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
That's basically at least 3 Bruce Waynes in one team. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. That's a hell of a concept.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's funny. I knew as soon as you said that,
whoever I just stole that from, I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna do rock and wrestling instead. Probably, I don't know.
God, that was Saturday morning. All right,
might
so
be on my list.
All right, so for my pick, I'm going to keep it simple: Batman the Animated Series.
Fox Afternoons. Oh, I can't veto shit. That started out primetime also. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah.
It didn't stay there.
It was it was like 2 weeks on Sunday nights, but that was for the 2-part pilot. Which I think was on
Fox
Leather
Kids, which is a Saturday morning program.
Oh wait, no. You know what? You're right. It was on afternoons for like 2 years, and then the Adventures of Batman and Robin came to Saturday mornings. That's correct. Because it was right before one of my picks.
Jason.
I am lucky enough this wasn't taken, but I am sticking with mainstream and going with the Smurfs. The original run.
Don't sing anymore. We'll get stricken.
Oh yeah. Does that actually happen? Like even if we hum the shit?
Yeah. Well, yes, it does.
It does.
Fucking Metallica. Thanks for nothing, asshole. Is this pretty much going to like strike the Snorks from being selected because they're basically the same thing?
Different universe.
Different series. Different series. Yeah.
I know. There was the same creator though, right? The French guy, Peyo?
Different franchise.
Okay. All right. I was going to pick him anyway.
Smurfs can't breathe underwater.
Yeah,
I mean, well, you can.
Well, that's why they're blue. Someone tried.
Someone tried.
And then someone was starting now.
Was it Gargamel, the fucking Dom DeLuise looking dude that they brought in towards the end?
A thinner. version of Dom DeLuise, yes.
I can't remember what his name was, but you know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Since I already mentioned it, not the Snorks, fuck them. What was it? Said Batman the Animated. Oh yeah, Men in Black, the animated series.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah, underrated as hell too, at least in my opinion, because it was a lot of cartoons are what we would think of as like shovelware in video game terms, right? And I know that like Men in Black kind of got passed over because A, it was Saturday mornings on the WB, so not a whole lot of exposure. And B, it was like Men in Black just came out, and I'm pretty sure by the time it launched, people were kind of over it. But fuck, what a good show that was! It was actually like, like a lot of people consider Men in Black to be like a spiritual successor to Ghostbusters. I feel like the animated series was the same way, except it was actually good, like wall to wall good. And it didn't get enough credit, so we'll put that right there. Solid Saturday morning lineup too on the WB. Too bad it didn't last.
All right, so number 5 pick for me is one of my favorite series and one that did not last long at all. I think it was only one season, and it is the Pirates of Dark Water.
Well, it ran for a little bit, didn't it?
No, it was one season. It did not go longer than it did not go as long as it should have. It was a really great fantasy series, great character design, great animation. A little bit more mature than other shows airing at the same time, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, it was one season and 2 video games, one for the Genesis, one for the SNES. Both play very differently.
Which happened with licensed games at that time in that generation.
Yes, they did.
Oh, this had a killer voice cast too. Holy shit. Oh wow, Jodie Benson. That was a Little Mermaid, wasn't it?
Yes.
Jim Cummings, Peter Cullen, Tim Curry again. Hector fucking Elizondo, who was doing live action TV at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm gonna save this tab too. I've been binging on cartoons the last couple of weeks anyway. I might as well just fold this into the rotation. It's been mostly Dan versus, but that's got to end at some point.
Still has one more pick.
I do. I have one more pick for my round 6 pick. Sorry, Corey, it's coming off the board. Oh, with my rice, I like to eat some cow.
Dude, I already mentioned it. I didn't think anybody was going to. Yeah, thank you. That was a solid, super solid fucking pick, and one of the best examples of transcontinental localization in those days, because the Fox News like to fuck up some dubs back then.
Yep, they just leaned into the weird on that show. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I will never forget the 3 of us living at the Prince John house and it being on TV and us getting annoyed that they interrupted it for the space shuttle landing. And then the space shuttle fucking blew up. That was Discovery. And I felt like shit because I was mad that they interrupted my cartoons.
Yeah.
I stood up, put on my shoes, and I walked out the door because I knew I wouldn't be home for the rest of the day.
Yep.
And then I think I walked in from the kitchen and was like, "Oh, the space shuttle blew up. That's what you get."
Anyway, Ultimate Muscle. That's my pick. Corey, you are up for round 6.
That's Ultimate Muscle. I still have my Mantaro fig. Okay. I'm gonna do me some. All right. I know this one might get a correction because it eventually became part of the Disney Afternoon, but Gummy Bears was on Saturday mornings for quite a while.
It absolutely was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yep. And I don't really need to say anything about that. So moving on. Yeah.
Banging theme song, right?
Oh yeah. Fucking killer theme song. Amazing animation for the most part. It's just
great
good.
Voice cast.
Killer voice cast. Yeah. Like
my video tomorrow is ranking every Disney Afternoon video game, and there was never a Gummy Bears game.
Nope.
Which sucks. There was a Russian bootleg that released in 2002, and don't play it. Don't play it. I did. Don't do it. It's bad.
It was like such an easy work for a video game. Like you take Scrooge's pogo cane mechanic from. I swear to God, that could have been borrowed from a Gummy Bears pitch project or something, because it would have made more sense with them. unless they landed on spikes, and then in which case they'd explode into like a geyser of gore and viscera. But it is surprising that they never had one, and they never had a video game.
Jason, round 6.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to figure out which way to go. I've got options here, and I'm probably just going to go in order of my favorites. So I'm going to go with the Bugs Bunny show.
Okay.
Speaking of theme songs that never leave your head, no matter how old you get. The show, this is it.
I still remember the one that I don't know if it was part of this, but it was definitely in that universe where they're doing like a symphony opera where Elmer finally kills him. Kill the wabbit! Kill the wabbit!
That's what's up for Doc. Chuck Jones classic. Sorry, I was talking over somebody. Who was that? Sorry.
This is Keith. That's like probably my favorite Bugs Bunny episode.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, that one actually won an Oscar. Back when they handed out Oscars for short subjects or animated shorts, fucking killed. Yeah. I'm really trying hard to rein in the Spurg on that one because these guys will know. I'm like a powder keg talking about Warner Brothers shit.
I'd given up a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. Round 6.
For round 6, I want to go Voltron Netflix, but because you fuckers are that picky, I'm going to go with the original Voltron, the Go Lion version.
Ain't nobody saying that's a shitty show, but yeah, it was on Netflix. Hey, is it true that like it's actually leaving Netflix for other shores?
They're making a live action of it.
No, I mean like I've heard that like Netflix like lost the license or something.
They plastered their logo all over the show. I don't know how they could lose their license to it.
No, they did that with the Marvel shows too.
That's true.
I think Amazon's the ones working on the live action, so maybe they got the whole thing.
Well, what I'm hoping here is that is true, and I can finish it because it was a really good tune. But fuck Netflix.
Keith, 2 picks.
All right. So this one I want to pick. It was a couple small segments within another cartoon that was out that was called Super Saturday. I don't want to take all of them in case anybody else wants it.
I got them. I know what you're talking about. But go ahead.
Yeah. I want to take Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines from 1985.
I've never heard of that.
There were like 5 segments. They eventually re-released it as like a 53-minute feature-length film as well. You have obviously Bigfoot. He's driven by Yank Justice. And then his friends, the twins Red and Redder, and then Professor D and Close McCall.
So we have Red and Redder, Professor D, and Yank Justice.
Yes, and they have there's a guy known as Mr. Big who's trying to like stop them. All
Mr. Big,
as they're trying to follow an ancient map to find the Fountain of Youth in Florida.
It's in St. Pete.
Why is it in Florida?
St. Augustine.
This was written by an NWA promoter, wasn't it?
I will tell you, I rewatched this just like 2 years ago. I found this to be so fun and so perfectly like 80s Saturday morning cartoon. Like this, it was so great. I loved every minute of it, and you can find it in its segments. I think you can also find it in the full just 53-minute thing. I highly recommend watching this. It is so funny.
Just for my own benefit, read the names off of the main characters again for me.
All right, so
Yes.
Bigfoot is driven by Yank Justice.
Okay.
Yank Justice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Black Gold is driven by Red and Redder.
Okay.
The twin sisters.
The most sanely named characters on this show so far.
The Orange Blossom Special is driven by Professor D.
Right.
And then the funny car that joins in eventually, it's the Warlord car, is driven by Close McCall.
Shut the fuck up.
I think I watched a similar video on the Black and Orange site. I really think I did.
Its own category.
Professor D driving the Orange Blossom Special makes me laugh for those of us from Orlando who know exactly what the Orange Blossom Special is. because
Well, but I know what the Orange Blossom Trail is. Is the special hat something that happens on the Orange Blossom Trail?
of course it is.
Yes, it costs extra.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
You have to go to the clinic afterwards?
You better.
Sometimes.
The show ends with the bad guy being eaten by alligators. Also,
Of course. I mean, why
Fantastic.
yeah.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
And
What's the
way
name of this shit
better
again? I gotta try
Bigfoot
this.
and the Muscle Machines.
All right, Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines. Fantastic.
And then, let's see. I'm gonna jump back a couple years. It's 1983. They eventually came out with 3 seasons and 30 episodes. It's another Hanna-Barbera special. This is Mr. T. Mr. T is the coach of the gymnastics team.
Yeah.
Traveling
Oh,
the
shit.
world while becoming involved in solving various mysteries. The very first episode of the show, I rewatched it a couple years ago. Mr. T punches a shark. Right in
The
face.
shark was asking for it. I remember that.
Yeah. This is the insanity that of level of popularity that Mr. T was at in the 80s.
Yeah,
That-
before he started eating everyone's balls.
He got he got this. He got this, and he had his own cereal.
And
Plus the A-Team and WrestleMania and all. This is the height of the entire thing, and he's coaching the gymnastics team. I don't think Mr. T could ever do gymnastics.
Yeah, it's a bit off brand for him, isn't it? Like, I
He's
can
not
see him
man.
coaching pretty much any other sport, like fencing over gymnastics, even.
I mean, if you compare him to the B.A. Baracus character, though, B.A. in the A-Team is always trying to help. He's there to help kids all the time when he can.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of is where this falls in. Oh, also they had a dog that had a mohawk, and then there was a little kid who dressed up
Just like him.
little white kid who dressed up.
Wait,
Little
it was a little
skinny white
kid,
kid.
wasn't it?
yeah.
Scaly white kid dressed exactly the same way as Mr. T, and then Bulldozer was Mr. T's bulldog with a similar mohawk.
I want to get a bulldog and name a bulldozer now.
Do you still have your Mr. T head, Corey?
Yeah, it's in storage. It's not here with me. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Damn it. That would have been great, but not today. Fuck. I actually remember that fucking show. What exactly? How did Mr. T become famous? Did he just get on A-Team and then that was it?
More or less, yeah.
Because was he an actor or something? I don't understand. Like I know I remember the age of Mr. T. I just never really thought about it that much, and that's a mistake, I think.
I'm pretty
Thinking
sure
about it.
Yeah, I got it. I got into the fandom in reverse because I knew him from wrestling and then jumped into the A-Team.
Well,
Oh,
Rocky 3 came out in 82. This cartoon comes out in 83.
Huh.
The A-Team, I think that TV series came out in 83 as well. Plus, I think after doing Rocky 3, because Hogan was in that as well as Thunderlips. That's where then he spins off and he goes in and does 2 WrestleManias in a row, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a weird fucking time.
In 1980, Mr. T was spotted by Sylvester Stallone while taking part in NBC's America's Toughest Bouncer competition.
We need to bring that back.
Up,
We need to bring that competition back. Forget
Yes.
Power Slap.
100%. Give me America's Toughest Bouncer. That's amazing.
I mean, you're never going to find another Mr. T, but it would be
don't know that.
it would be interesting.
Not with that attitude.
Well, fair point and well made. This place,
All right, Bob, you're up.
no place for narcissism here.
All right, so my show, very close to my heart. I cannot go with Star Trek Lower Decks, so instead I'll go with its grandfather, Star Trek, the original series, which, yes, it was a Saturday morning show.
Yes, it was.
Aired from 1973 to 1974, 22 episodes. Is probably one of the more famous parts, one of the components of the Star Trek universe that helped push the franchise along into its motion picture days.
Yeah, that was pretty much responsible for keeping the IP afloat until until it was pitched as a movie, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's funny. I remember seeing that show on Nickelodeon for the most part, but I do know about it because it was animators talk about it in this weird sort of reverent tone, because it arguably was responsible for keeping Star Trek like within the pop cultural tapestry. But yeah,
it's travesty.
That's a good pick. Well, yes, it's by design. Of course it is, Bob. Considered a rousing success because of that.
Jason.
It's time for me to get obscure because I remember having this toy, but I don't remember watching this show. My pick from 1987, 65 episodes, Brave Star.
Hell,
dude, yeah. Brave Star was the shit.
Fucking space cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how many episodes I've watched, but I had the toy and I love that thing.
Shit. Is anybody okay? This must have been the same season. I wasn't going to vote for this because I just remembered it suddenly. But Captain Power, was that thing was that a thing that happened, or am I kind of transposing my memories over something else?
I remember that name
because I think the Brave Star toys were kind of like the same thing, where it was like all light gun oriented stuff.
Oh, no! I had the action figures. I didn't know about light guns or anything like that. I had I don't know.
The figures themselves would have like a little responder inside of them, like a. If anybody remembers the Thundercats Castle of Lions, Lion's Lair, it was the same sort of a deal where like one of the figures like vehicles would have like a light sensor in it, and the lair would actually shoot like a little light signal out into it, and whenever the other toy received it, it would like explode or something like that. It was basically just that, but with figures. And I thought Brave Star used that same sort of technology.
Not in the one I had. So maybe there was, I don't know, maybe it was a different run.
And I'm probably having a Mandela moment then. But yeah, I remember the cartoon for sure, because that had style for days.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. There was always like micro wars over that and like Silverhawks on the playground when those were airing.
I don't think I ever actually talked to anybody about that particular one.
What, Brave Star?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Silverhawks?
Yeah. We didn't really talk about cartoons as kids. Like, it's weird.
Everyone was watching them. Nobody's talking about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Sorry to derail that, but like I remember all of us just talking about wrestling. We didn't talk about cartoons.
Then maybe I still talked a little bit too much back then as well. That is very likely.
Well, keep talking. You're up.
No. Let me see.
Okay.
Here.
It's your show.
Let me see. Well, I wanted to throw this one on here just because I don't think this tune gets enough respect, and it carried Saturday mornings for at least a good 2 to 3 years, if I remember correctly. But the Littles, this was it's very hard to describe. I mean, it was hard to describe as a kid when I was talking to nobody about cartoons back in the day. It's like The Borrowers. Everyone knows what The Borrowers is. It was a series of children's books that it became a movie afterwards. Little people living inside the walls of your houses, but it's not a Wes Craven movie. And they basically made friends with the kids that live in the house, but the adults don't believe that they exist. And it's always kind of left vague at the end of the day whether or not they actually did exist. But
they have little tails and like
they had little tails. They looked like elves, kind of like just tiny little pixie people. But they made cars out of matchstick boxes and buttons and shits like that. It was a really inventive kind of our cartoon as far as like set pieces went. But it was also my first exposure to. Bob's like, oh, here he goes. It's my first exposure to TMS as an animation studio or contract animation studio. And that was the first cartoon that got me to notice that like the intros to Saturday morning cartoons were always going to be outclassing the rest of the shows. Mm-hmm. And that annoyed the piss out of me. Yeah, Littles was pretty cool. That, and it was original, even if it was, an off-brand version of a children's book from France. Also, we were talking about like trauma baiting earlier on some of these shows, like how dark they tended to get. Look up Dinky's Pizza on YouTube someday. You're gonna be like, shit, fuck. I want to unsee that immediately.
Rousing support for a show.
Okay, so for real story, has anybody ever heard of this show? Like, period.
Yeah.
The Littles?
really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I was
Okay,
referring to your pizza review just now.
I didn't have a veto left to tell people not to go look up Dinky's Pizza.
yeah, it was intense. Although they were like, "Hey, we got a message for this for the children." It's like it's not for the children. This one, we don't know who it's for, but it's not for the kids. That's for damn sure.
It's like when someone tells you don't look up Harlequin Baby. That's the first thing you do. You look it up.
All right, I'm gonna look up Harlequin Baby right now. Hang on a second. I know what a Harlequin Baby looks like.
I know.
Just
I don't,
keep
what
going.
is this gimmick you're playing?
The long game.
My round 7 came out around the same time as Ultimate Muscle. Fantastic cartoon based on a video game that I didn't really care for at the time, but the cartoon was amazing. It is Kirby Right Back at You.
Oh yeah, the CG Curbs.
No.
Wait. He wasn't rendered in that cartoon. Really? I thought he was.
It was 2D. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah. Well, the rest of the cartoon was 2D, but like he himself was toon shaded.
Was he?
I thought so. I could be having another Mandela moment, which
I think you're having a Mandela moment.
seems to be increasing in frequency as I get older. Son of a bitch.
And round 8 for me, my final pick. I'm going to go a little bit out there, but it's a cartoon that I really enjoyed. Celebrity cartoon, kind of like Mr. T here. Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh yes,
good fucking video game too on the GBA. Yeah,
and on the PS1.
I didn't know there was a PS1.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't emulate PS1 stuff, unfortunately, so I'll have to stick with my assessment of the GBA.
Corey, last pick.
Speaking of video games, Captain and the Game Master. And I don't think I have to talk about that one for too long, right?
Nope.
All right. Everyone knows
it was a mega cool show.
Oh, very much so. Pulling this one out. Well, for one thing, I'm kind of surprised nobody mentioned this one, but their revisionist, like heavily revisionist conceptualization of Simon Belmont. I swear to God, he should have gotten his own show and his own game. That would have been a laugh fucking riot. But
that was Surfer Dude Simon, right? Or was
no,
it
Simon
Jock
Belmont? Simon? I didn't realize until like a lot later, like maybe even like 3 to 4 years ago. Simon Belmont from that cartoon kind of informed our version of Batman, King Douchebag, that guy. Because he talked like this all the time, don't you know?
That's right. That's right.
And he talked with his whip for some reason, and the whip talked back.
How can I acquire this power?
Really? I mean, you have to become a vampire killer first. And then something else slayer afterwards. There's an order to these things. All right. It's a good transition. What you got for us?
Well, we talked about trauma dumping a little bit earlier and throughout this episode, and I don't see it on the list, so I think I'm in the clear here. Goof Troop. Goofy as a single dad.
Oh shit. That was Saturday morning, wasn't it?
It was 92 to 93, 78 episodes in 1 year.
That's god damn.
Yeah.
That's a grindhouse output. Well done for whatever Korean studio happened to work on that one.
Fantastic video game too.
There was was it a PS1 or
SNES?
No shit.
Yep.
Well, this computer is the one that I have my emulators on, so let's look that up.
Action puzzle game, really fun.
Nice. All right. Fucking Goof Troop. Yeah, that's a solid pick. I kind of regarded that as like the post Disney afternoon or one of the post Disney afternoon cartoons, like the one orange cat whose name always escapes me, and no, not one of them buggers. Not the more famous ones. It was like an orange cheetah looking thing, not Cheetara. Bonkers. That was it. Yeah. I kind of thought that was from like the same era, but
Bonkers the police cat.
Someone was high on their concepts in that year. That sounds like a Tad Stones thing.
Also, good SNES game.
All right, I'm looking that up.
Lovely. You can enjoy my video reviewing it Tomorrow morning at 8:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Actually, I got a day off tomorrow, so yeah, I'll be watching that shit.
There you go. All right, so it looks like everybody on this list has an obscure pick except for me. So my obscure pick was actually going to be Brave Star. Now,
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I have another one that I'd actually be surprised if anyone ever heard this show. Dino Saucers.
Fucking Dino Saucers was the shit.
All right.
I loved Dino Saucers.
I don't remember Dino Saucers.
No.
I couldn't tell you what it was about. I remember the name.
I'll read the opening paragraph. The show follows the Dino Saucers in their battle against evil Tyrannos. Each group is composed of intelligent anthropomorphic dinosaurs or other prehistoric species. The dinosaurs are also allied with humans known as the Secret Scouts. The two groups originally came from a planet Counter-Earth known as Reptilian.
Why not?
Writers were, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
The writers came from the GoBots, apparently. Most of the characters are named after the type of prehistoric animal they are based on, or some pun of the name. It was insane. I remember having some of the toys, too. It was crazy.
So you're not going to read off any of those names, huh?
Yeah.
At least 3 of them. Come on.
I might want to track this one
chunked
down.
the waters a bit.
All right. So we have, we have Allo, which was an Allosaurus.
Allosaurus.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dimetro.
Dimetrodon, yeah.
Come on.
Bronto
I was looking for like Tyrone Rex.
like I said, if anyone ever watched GoBots, what's the name of the planet they came from? Gobatron.
Gobatron, yeah.
So we also have Stego. We have Triso, Bonehead, Itchy. Yeah, the names Tyrex. Guess what?
Tyrex. Tyrex is the kind of shit that I was looking for. Bonehead's at least an affectation of some sort, you know. These are just most of them sound like what your 6-year-old would like name the new family pet.
Yeah, but isn't that who this was targeted at? Like, you don't need to have highbrow writing for 6-year-olds.
Technicalities. But yes, that's true. Fuck, I have no recollection of this show whatsoever.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Darn, I thought I had the market cornered in obscure shit for this one. There's a couple more I didn't mention, but I'm not.
I think Keith is running away with the obscure shows.
What?
Yeah, Keith has it cornered.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's gonna have to. I don't know if I should just keep going with that or not here then.
Big muscle machines. That was awesome.
It's your last pick. Make it count.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I could have gone with any number of things. I could have gone with Rubik the Amazing Cube.
That was a little horrifying. Also, like whenever he was dropped down the stairs or something, his fucking face would disappear and he'd be all discolored, and you're like, "What happened to Rubik? Is he dead?"
I could pick Hammerman, where MC Hammer gets magic pants.
I remember that. Yeah.
I am going to go with the Karate Kid.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I did a small series of podcasts that like 4 people listen to. The show was originally planned for a daily syndication for fall of 1988 with 65 episodes. But instead, they settled for a 13-episode arc for NBC Saturday mornings in 1989. Mr. Miyagi would do the intros, but not actually voice his own character. And they would basically just travel around the world, chasing after this thing called the Shrine, which is like this magic thing that they had to find. Which there is an episode of Cobra Kai where they have something on a shelf that looks exactly the same way.
Dude, that show is so fucking good.
and this cartoon is it's just batshit weird. There's a girl that's with them the whole time. Nobody ever understands why she's there. They never bring her back into any of the other things. I actually really enjoyed rewatching all of it. Again, it's only 13 episodes, so it's not that bad, but that seems like a good one to close out on.
Was this at around the same time that the TV executives thought it would be a good idea to create a cartoon out of First Blood?
Yes.
Yeah, Rambo and the
Forces of Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that has
RoboCop.
That has like 60 episodes or some crazy.
That has a king size. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, this is where they decided to turn like any movie because there's a Teen Wolf cartoon.
Yeah.
There's a RoboCop cartoon.
Yeah. Bob just said.
Beetlejuice.
There's two really good ones that came
Back
out
to
of
the
this
Future.
trend. Back to the Future and Bill and Ted were fucking ace.
Yeah, they do this constantly for a little chunk of time.
Tales from the Crypt. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh my god, I completely spaced on that one.
Toxic Crusaders.
Toxic Crusaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris and the something Commandos.
Christian Commandos, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been him. Yeah, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is actually pretty fucking fun. It was the cartoon that got me to watch the movies. Shit. Well, for lack of a more complete list, this one's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
I learned a lot today.
Me too.
I know. I felt like a little jilted in that I wasn't able to chase Muppet Babies down with Flintstones Kids because I was like, Jason, you're almost there. You were so close. With the Flintstones pick, you would have had like a Flintstones that would have been valid for the selection.
Didn't even know that show existed.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah.
Huh, no shit. Well, it was like Muppet Babies, but with Flintstones.
You could have also picked Fred and Barney Meet the Thing, which is a show where they would have the Flintstones on one half of the thing, and then this weird with the Thing from Fantastic Four on the other.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And in order to become the Thing, he had these like rings on his hand that he would smash together and turn into the Thing.
Yeah, because he had it was actually he actually had like a civilian identity or something. He wasn't like the Thing the entire time.
Yeah,
which completely defeats the purpose of that character.
Wasn't it Ring Thing, Do Your Thing, or something like that? It was
something. Yeah,
it's just a fantastic rhyme.
Which is great, but he already had a catchphrase at that point.
It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time. Yeah, that's executive overreach. I don't know.
That'll never get over.
Whatever. You're the incredibly complicated audience, sophisticated audience that this is geared for is never going to accept it. Shit.
I will say I am surprised none of you guys picked the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling.
It was my number 8 pick until I remember Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah, and probably that like need to kind of like let somebody else have it took over, because I kind of thought that like I don't know if anybody else was like in the wake of that, but I was pretty sure someone else was going to pick it up.
I'm surprised no one picked G.I. Joe, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry.
Bugs and Daffy show was picked by somebody, right? It was
well, that's
Bugs Bunny show was me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. Tom and Jerry. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. Fucking chipmunks. None of us picked chipmunks. Like Bob was talking about fur shit earlier. I'm pretty sure that was a sexual awakening for at least one of us. Especially the movie.
What? The Chipmunks?
The Chipmunks. Yeah, have you ever seen the Chipmunks movie?
Well, Jason, don't question him.
Okay, we're not going. Okay.
No.
No.
Okay.
I think it's worth exploring a little bit. Go ahead and try to find it. Look it up. It's not going to be streaming. Because it's one of those like
2 hours. No.
All right. Yeah.
I am going to call it
extracurricular discovery.
Big thanks to Keith and Jason for joining us tonight on episode 119 of the Cretans Guild podcast. Be sure to practice infinite diversity in infinite combinations. There's going to be a link tree on all of this with all of our socials and all of our other social media can be found in the description. You can join our Discord and continue the discussion there. You can follow me on YouTube. I am at Square Pegs, and you can follow Bob on YouTube at Skipper Bob's Breakdowns. We've got merch on TeePublic that features the art of the brilliant, fantastic, and wonderful Tom Solo. So to all of our followers, new and old, we say to you, welcome to the Guild.
Second burp of the night.
That's it?
That's all. Yeah, go ahead and count.
All your dogs and cats.
Why don't you burp out the Gargoyles theme song while you're at it? Or Darkwing Duck. None of us said Darkwing Duck.
That was Disney Afternoon, though.
It aired on Saturday mornings as well.
Yeah, it was in my list. I just didn't want to get to it.
It was on my list as well.
Teen Titans.
Was Teen Titans Saturday mornings as well?
I'll be here all night.
Yeah. I know. Like pretty much all of our lists were like absurdly long, weren't they?
Yes.
Justice for Beekman's World.
Oh man.
Beekman was fantastic.
Shit.
I preferred the live action, but the cartoon was good as well.
Yep.
There's an animated version. I did not know that.
Yeah, there was. It paled a little bit, but it was still like if you needed your Beekman fix, it was still good.
Yep.
That's pretty slick.
2 years ago, I started to try to do a cartoon rewatch, and watched Pro Stars, and then I watched The Karate Kid, and like I did a lot of research on these. So yeah, so my stuff seemed a little obscure. It's because I have a long list of things that I had been looking at for a while to actually watch.
Nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome though. Because there were so many like